let me just preface this with saying that free will, do you really have free will? That's free will is questionable because it gives, well, I'll be jumping ahead of myself if I told you how I think free will, the benefits of free will. I don't think free will actually benefit us as much as we think free will benefits us, because if we have free will, so does God. So why can't he do it anyway? If everything is free will, isn't he free to help us at will? So that's some of my free will thought. We have a choice, yes, but then if you're not given all the choices, you have a choice, but you're given limited amount of choices, limited amount of things to choose from, and you've been set up so that you have limited amount of choices. How much free will do you have? Do you really have free will, or do you have what's been offered to you? I don't know. We can talk about free will later. So back to the beginning, I want to talk about the Garden of Eden story. There's tree of good and evil and then a tree of life and Garden of good and evil. So the tree of good and evil, think about it, has good and evil on it. Good, the love, the churches, the new age, charity, generosity, poverty, disease, violence, racism, war, death, famine, all of that's on the same tree. Good, there's good, and then there's evil on the one tree. And then there's a tree of life that we don't hear much about. I want to point this out about the tree of good and evil, though, and the tree of life. If the story is real, so I need to preface this by saying, I don't believe that everything in the Bible is real from what I've been taught and told. Everything is not as we think it is. It's been given to us, and that's all we have. So we think that's all there is. But you have to think, if this world is, I don't know how many thousands and thousands of years old, that everything is written in that Bible from thousands and thousands of years, you really need to think again. There's no way everything is recorded in that Bible. What's recorded in there is what they want you to know. So the tree of evil, good and evil, I shouldn't call it evil because there is good in the tree, was put in the garden, and then the Lord God, the master God, that's what Lord means. I had asked, what does Lord, why does they say Lord God? Because he's mastering over, is a master God. Anyone has to call themselves master. Anyway, that's another story. But it says, every tree in the garden you can eat of, but the tree of good and evil you shall not eat. Now, I kind of think this is a setup. The tree is put in the Garden of Eden, in the middle of the garden, in the midst of the garden. It's a tree of good and evil that he doesn't want you to eat from, but he puts it there and tell you not to. Now, I don't know if any of you have seen those little tests where the parents put the children in front of the food or the item and say, don't touch it. And and then they walk away. Why do they put it there? Why would you set up your child to fail? Now, surely die. That's pretty strong. And I honestly believe that God lied. That's just me. When they say you shall surely die, we can explain it however we explain it. and make excuses, but gave the impression that when you eat of the tree, it's going to kill you. They didn't immediately die. But then there is really no real death anyway, because only the physical body dies. And I can tell you that the soul does not die. There is no real death, only death of the physical body. So is that true? The day you eat of it, you shall die. Not when you get old, you're going to die, or in 100 years, you're going to die. The day you eat of it, you shall surely die. Was that true? Something to think about. Now, that's just my thought. I'm putting it out there. You taking notes? You can challenge that and question it, and we can talk about it. That's just how I see it. You shall surely die. But then you put it there. I don't want you to eat of this tree. So I, as God, am going to put it there so you don't eat it, but be tempted by it to eat. And then if you eat of it, I'm telling you right now, you're going to die. What in the world? What in the world is that? So what happens is they eat of it. You know, it's temptation. You're going to put the tree there. It's like putting the candy in front of the child and say, don't eat it now. Don't eat it. Wait till I come back. Don't eat it. Some children are going to not eat it. But you have other children who are going to eat it. So why would you put it there as a temptation? I think it's almost like a setup. It's almost like you've been set up to eat of the tree. But then after you eat of the tree, now you're told, oh, we need to put you out of the garden now, because if you eat of the other tree, you have life. This is a tree of life. If God really loved you so much and did not want you to live the way you're living now, wouldn't you be able to eat of the tree? Wait a minute. So let's think about this. You put the tree that I shouldn't eat there and tell me not to eat of it. But you put the tree that is good for me to eat there also, but you won't let me eat of it because I ate of the other tree. I'm going to put you out because you might eat of that tree and live. Think about it. I mean, it sounds like a setup to me.